Okay. My name is Katie Gummelt, and this is the video for the CAT 1. After doing the prelim test, our patient had a negative arm fossa test, so that's why we're doing the CAT 1 procedure on him. So first of all, we're going to do a leg length inequality. We'll have the patient laying prone, and we're going to put the feet about 14 inches apart and have them press against our hands. Alright, and then we're going to look at the medial malleoli, and whichever one is superior is the short leg. So in this case, the patient had a left short leg. Then we're going to come to the head of the table, and we're going to find the AC joint where the V is, and the T1. We're going to go 3/4 of an inch lateral to the TPP. And then there's going to be 7 points in between these two spots. So we're going to touch at each of the points and apply pressure and have the patient tell us if they have any tenderness with any of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'd ask the patient if any of them are tender. We do the same thing on the other side. If the patient had a zone on the right and the left that were tender, then we would go back to those two zones and apply pressure and see which one was the most tender. When we know which zone was the most tender, we're going to look at the track fiber analysis chart, and there's going to be 7 different zones. For the 7 different zones, each of the cervical vertebrae corresponds with one of the zones. So C1 is in zone 1, along with T1, T2, and T10. Zone 2 is C2, T3, T11, and T12. Zone 3 is C3, T4, T5, and L1. Zone 4 is C4, T6, and L2. Zone 5 is C5, T7, and L3. Zone 6 is C6, T8, and L4. And Zone 7 is C7, T9, and L5. So whichever zone the patient said was the most tender, we would go to the corresponding vertebra, and we would apply a superior pressure to the spinous process at those levels. After doing this, we would ask the patient which one was the most tender, and then we would do a knife edge contact on that spinous process, and we would perform an adjustment and an I to S thrust. Okay. Then we're going to do the heel tension. So the patient's legs would be off the table, and we're gonna apply a dorsiflexion, I guess, to the foot and see which side is more tense. You can either do this bilaterally, like I'm doing now. You can do it unilaterally, or you can analyze it by the Achilles tendon, in which case you would press in the Achilles tendons, and either by patient tenderness or by the thickness of the Achilles, you'd be able to tell which side was the heel tension side. So after you find the heel tension side, then you're going to use that with the Atlas dural subluxation test, which is next. So we'll have the, we're going to apply the same pressure to the feet. We're going to have the patient in a neutral position, right leg face down. We'll have them move to the right, and then back to neutral, and then move your face to the left, and then back to neutral. And when they move their face, we should feel the bump in the foot on the side in which they're turning. And if you don't feel the bump, then you know that there's a correction that needs to be made. So for this, I'm going to have the patient grab the top of the table. Alright, and for the long leg side, you would apply heel traction to that side, and the patient's face would be neutral. And and you would just hold this for 10 seconds. And you do that 3 different times. For the short leg side, you would apply a heel traction to the patient's foot while the patient is turning their head to the right and to the left. So the patient will be turning their head to the right and to the left for 10 seconds. You once again repeat this 3 times. And then for bilateral, you would apply or have the patient look to the side of heel tension. So in this case, the heel tension was on the patient's left side. So they'll look to the left, and then you'll apply heel traction to both sides. Once again for 10 seconds, 3 times. Okay. After this, you're going to check the major crest and major dollar sign. So for the major crest sign, you would come into L4, and you would go laterally 3 inches on each side of the spinous process. You would apply a lateral to medial pressure, and you would look and see which side the muscle was bigger on. In this case, the muscle is a little bit thicker on the left side, so this would be a left major crest sign. For the dollar sign, you come into the PSIS. You would go down 3 inches and lateral 2 inches, and then you're going to apply some springy pressure. You want to see which side has more rebound. And then whichever side has more rebound, that's the side that is the major dollar sign. If you had a major dollar sign and a major crest sign, you would use the sign that was more significant. Alright, and then we'll do the blocking now, I guess. So we'll have the patient sit up, and we'll place the rectangle piece underneath their hips. Have them lay back down, make sure. There you go. Alright, so for this patient, he had a left short leg, so this is going to be passive blocking. We'll bend the patient's legs up and over. For the short leg side, the block is going to go under the greater trochanter, pointing oblique and superior. And for the long leg side, it's going to go under the ASIS, pointing obliquely and inferior. Okay, and you would keep the patient in this position for at least 3 respirations, and you're going to be checking the leg lengths to see if they even out. You wouldn't want to do this for more than 10 minutes, that'd be the max. We'll just do a left major crest sign. The way that you would adjust this is you would do a knife edge iliac crest roll towards the lumbars on the short leg side, just 1 time. And then on the long leg side, you would do a P to A thrust on the ischium. For a major dollar sign, you would do on the short leg side, you're going to do a pisiform toggle on the PSIS. And for the left side, it's going to have a counterclockwise torque. For the right side, it would have a clockwise torque. So you just do one of those, and then on the long leg side, you would do a glute scoop. Alright, and then we would go down and check the sacrum. So you're going to find L5. You're going to put your thumb on the spinous process of L5 with your fingers pointing towards the patient's head. You're going to have the patient take a deep breath in and then cough. And then you're going to be feeling and looking to where your finger goes. So for a positive sacral base, the thumb would go superior up towards the ceiling. For a negative sacral base, the thumb would go towards the patient's head. And for a neutral sacral base, the thumb would go at a 45-degree angle where it goes towards the patient's head as well as up towards the ceiling. So for a positive sacral base, you're going to move the short leg side block up to the ASIS where it's pointing obliquely and inferior like the other side. It's forming a smiley face now, and what you're going to do is put the heel of your hand on the patient's sacral apex. You're going to have the patient take a few deep breaths in and out, and as the patient inhales, you're going to press in a PDA fashion on the sacral apex, and as they exhale, you're going to release that, and you're going to do this 3 or 4 times. Then you would recheck the leg lengths. If the patient had a negative sacral base, you would move the blocks to underneath the greater trochanter, pointing obliquely and superior on both sides. That's where it's forming a frowny face. And then for this one, you're going to place the heel of your hand on the sacral base. Have the patient take deep breaths in and out. As they exhale this one, you're going to press on the sacral base, and as they inhale, you're going to release it. And then for a sacral base neutral, you would have the blocks directly straight across at a 90-degree angle in between the ASIS and the greater trochanter. And with this one, you're going to have the patient breathe in and out, and you're going to move your hand with their respirations. So when they inhale, you're going to press on the sacral apex. When they exhale, you're going to press on the sacral base. And then you're going to do this 3 to 4 times. And when you're doing the sacral adjustments, you're going to be watching the patient's back at the vertebra and be looking for any blanching or hyperemia. And wherever you can see any of this blanching at, that's where you're going to go to that level. You're going to use the trap analysis chart that we used earlier to see which level of the cervical of the vertebra correlates with. And then for your whichever cervical it is, you're going to place your thumb on the spinous process of the vertebra that was blanching, and you're going to apply your chiropractic index finger and your thumb to the cervical that it corresponds with. And you're going to apply a superior pressure to the spinous process and hold it for 5 seconds, and then release it. And then you're going to just keep doing this until you feel moisture or perspiration in the patient's cervicals. Once you feel that, then you're going to go back to the same segment that you were on, and you're going to perform a knife edge contact in a I to S adjustment.